Hey guys, thanks for coming back to the channel. If you guys aren't subscribers, hit that subscribe button, it's free, and you guys can follow us along as we escape in the city. For those of you that have been following along, you guys know that we closed escrow a little while back, and we moved out of our house in Southern California, and we're in a rental temporarily until we get everything together that we need to move to our homestead in Idaho. If you haven't seen our log cabin that we bought up there in Idaho, you can go back and check that out in the playlist. But in the meantime, we're getting together some things for our homestead. And so those of you, the last few videos, if you've been following along, you guys saw this dump trailer that I picked up for a smoking deal. And then you saw this beautiful John Deere 350 dozer that I bought. And then the last video by the time you guys see this, the last video that you would have seen was me putting on some new dozer blades on the front of that. So I'll show you these right here. I put these new cutting edges right there. And I got some big beautiful ripper shanks. These things are awesome. Love it. And I've been doing a little bit of maintenance on this thing. There was a couple more hoses that were buried deep in here that the guy actually didn't change, and he didn't think that I needed them, but let's get up there and take a look at that. So, those of you guys that are familiar with dozers, you know that this is the main blade hydraulic distribution block, and here is a secondary distribution block for my rear rippers, and that goes up and down. But there were two great big main supply hoses. This one right here, and the big one down there. That's the bigger one for the main blade distribution. And the guy that I bought this from said he would change all the hoses for $1,000. Well, he didn't think that those two needed to be done, and there was two more up in the front of the blade for the tilt. So these two hoses right here he didn't change. He didn't think that they were bad enough to change, but that's okay, because these three hoses and those two hoses on that side, those things go along the frame down in here. They go up underneath. There's hoses all up inside of here, and then down inside of here there's a bunch of hoses down in there, and then some hoses that go to the back. And back here, there's three hoses there, and there's three hoses there, so that's six right there, plus the, I think there's probably about 10 hoses up in here that go up underneath the seat and go down the other side and go to the upper and lower hydraulic rams. You got the upper and the lower there. They have another hydraulic ram over there. There's an upper and lower there, so that's 2, 4, and then 6, 8, and then you got two more hoses going up to the front, so that's 10. So 10 plus 6, so that's 16 hoses. So all in all, the guy changed a solid 16 hoses for me, and then sold me the whole dozer ready to go for $6,000. So there was a couple hoses that he already lost his butt on because it was so much work. I don't think he knew how much work he was getting into when he said he would do it for $1,000. I went to Hose Man. I took the other 4 hoses off myself and took them back, and I spent $300 on 4 hoses. So about $75 a hose with the right fittings and everything, and it worked out great. So anyway, this thing is, I did a little bit of electrical on it. They have bypassed the mechanical fuel pump on this machine and put an electronic fuel pump, and I just simply had to wire it up to the ignition switch, and I changed the air filter. I bought original ones from John Deere, which is amazing. And what else am I gonna do? So today we're gonna change out, well, what a lot of people call them are grease fittings. Their proper term is called a Zerk fitting, because there are different kinds of grease fittings. This particular one is a Zerk. So let's get to it. So this is where one of the Zerk fittings was. I took it off to match it up, make sure I had the right size, but I'm going to go ahead and put a new one in here. Okay, this one's going to give me a little bit of trouble here. Yeah, that one worked. I didn't have to change that one. Again, I'm leaving a little bit of grease on there, but I saw the grease coming out in between. Saw the grease coming out in between right there. Let's try this one right here. Yep. Nope, that one's not taking grease, so. Cool, that one's coming off. Some of that same size. Since this one doesn't take any grease, well, it looks like it might have been taking some grease. Let me give it another shot here. Yeah, it's taking grease. All right, good enough. All right. Fantastic. So I'm going to move to the other side here to do the other two that I can find. In your manual, you're going to have a schematic, and it tells you all the grease points on a machine. So you're going to want to look at your manuals and see where you need to grease and at what periodic rate. Okay guys, let's see if I can get, you guys can see that grease coming out of there. Once you get to hold that thing on, make sure it's square. There. Can you guys see that grease coming out right there? Get that dirt out of the way. There. You guys can see that grease coming out right in there? That's what you want to see. And there's some grease coming out right here on this side as well. Can you guys see that grease right there? That's what you want to see. Now I will get a rag and I'll clean up some of this, but I'm still going to leave a little bit of grease just hanging out right there just to protect that tip. Here's my new pins that I got. There you go. You guys see that grease coming out right there? That's what you want to see. As a crane operator and going through the apprenticeship and learning how to be an oiler on crawler cranes and every kind of crane out there, lubrication is by far the most important piece of maintenance that you do on any piece of heavy equipment. And on crawlers especially, the tracks, you have to lubricate the rollers, or you destroy the rollers, and they are expensive to replace. So the grease fitting for these roller tracks, for the rollers, is different from a Zerk. It is not a Zerk, and I don't even know the name of it, so I gotta find it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so you guys see this little Zerk right here. The little nozzle goes on, and it's got a little spring inside that clamps around that. However, it's not the same as that right there. That is a different kind of fitting. It's a slide-on. Here's my upper roller. Look at that thing. So there is a little button, a little ball bearing in the middle, and it's a flat disc, and so it slides on. There's another one on the front idler. Behind this cover There will be another one behind this cover for the rear gear, for the bearing over there. Maybe not. So unfortunately, guys, I'm not going to be able to finish the greasing today because I don't have that fitting for either one of my grease guns. So I got to find that tomorrow. I'll call the John Deere dealership and see if they've got that particular grease fitting. So I'm going to see if I can get one of these things off and then take it in and have them matched up, because I may have to replace one or two of these things. So guys, stay tuned for the next episode. Maybe I'll give you guys a quick little update on those old grease fittings and see if I found the right one. So thanks for watching today, guys. See you in the next video.